Crisis in Manipur now entering its fourth month shows no signs of abating. I'm Barkhadat, you're with the Mojo story. Three young men have been killed in a fresh round of violence in the last 48 hours. The Kuki community says that the victims are from their community. We also have had very disturbing images coming out from the city of Imphal, where the house of a former member of parliament was in fact burnt. This cycle of violence doesn't seem to end or break. Now, the question is, what can a possible peace formula, a peace process look like? This is an extremely worrying situation where even the army has not been spared from being targeted. In fact, 40 legislators have written to the Modi government asking for the Assam Rifles that operates directly under the uh, the army to be replaced. Joining us now is a military veteran, Colonel Shanti Sapam. If I can bring him up now. Colonel Sapam, we all remember from a month ago, was on camera breaking down in tears, crying for the suffering of his people. A month later, we have been on the ground in Manipur. We have witnessed that suffering with our own eyes, and the situation is still far from normal. Manipur is de facto divided into two states, the Meitei areas and the tribal areas. There is you can't get, if you're a tribal, from a tribal area to a non-tribal area, and the vice versa is also true. Colonel Sapam, as you know, more than 4,000 weapons, most worryingly, are in civilian hands. If I were to ask you how you feel today compared to that 1 month ago when you broke down in tears, do you feel any better, or do you feel as much despair as you did then, sir?
Well, today also I don't feel better. It's the same actually. The feeling is the same. And it's when we talk about Manipur, a very small state, uh, most complicated state, I would say, in India. I would say most complicated because in India, because the problems in J&K, you know there's a difference in the agenda over there, and over here lot of ethnicity over here. We have a lot of diversity here, so things have turned out like this. Is very sad, but nevertheless, this state is also one of the pride of the country. This state has, though the population is just 30 lakhs, and it has taken part in many international events representing India and brought
But
laurels for
how
the
do you
country.
feel today? Of course, but it's effectively divided into two states today, sir.
Yes, yes. That's what I'm going to come down to, and we have many personalities who have represented the state in the international level, Hannah. Now, as I said before, also it is a double engine system over here. The and in India we have many states and union territories. The father figure is the center. If I have 5 children and I have given something somewhere or other, some incentives, to my children, and the children are also doing their best to give their contribution to the family,
Yeah.
and the children also must think whatever they demand to their father, whether it is possible, not possible. These are also important. It is for the
Are
both
you are
companies.
you are you referring to the demand by the cookie groups for a separate
No,
administration in this context?
no, any demand by any states in the country. I am talking in general. By any demand by any state in the country, the states must observe, analyze the demand which they are going to put in the center, whether they are feasible, not feasible, and
Okay.
thereafter, in
Let's go.
principle,
Yes.
if it is agreed by the center also, then it goes to the finance. This all we must know.
Okay, let's go
It goes
step
to,
by step. Let's
yeah.
uh, let's let's go step by step.
Ah,
You're a military veteran. You have covered
yes.
war. You have served in conflict zones. You were commissioned into the Assam Regiment, but you also served with the Assam Rifles for 4 years. Today, and I'm going to play these shots of this video. Today, we have women stopping soldiers, in particular of the Assam Rifles, and asking them to show an ID proof, right? You would have seen these videos. Can we please play those pictures? So you have women who are actually waving soldiers down, and they're, can we play the picture, please? And they're asking them कि आप ID दिखाइए, and only then we let you go. In other words, now even soldiers are not being spared. As somebody who's been a Fauji, you've served with the Assam Rifles, this targeting of the Assam Rifles, which has led to the army issuing two unprecedented sharp statements, what does it make you feel today?
This what has happened, and in the picture what has happened is, I feel, this is my personal opinion, the top brass who are operating over here must come down, and then must go down on ground, not in the office. They must go, and then go this side also, that side also, and bring some understanding between them. I'm
But
talking about.
are they not doing that already? I
I
mean,
don't think so.
from my understanding, the army, can we come out of these pictures now?
No, no, I feel it
Yeah.
is lacking, because I don't see in any news that like dignitaries come over here and then they speak to the people and things like that. No, I have not seen any of this. Maybe I don't know how, I'm not seen it. And even for that matter, MLAs and the DCs and all, I don't see them running around from this side and that side.
Okay, but when
Uh,
the army is accused of prejudice, when 40 MLAs write to the Modi government and say replace the Assam Rifles, you've been a soldier in the Assam Rifles. How does that make you feel?
Assam Rifle is a very good organization. I served over there, and they're very obedient. They are very, the Jawans are very tough physically and mentally. But it depends on the personality of the commander on ground. Should I
What
tell
do you
my
mean?
experience? Should I say some of my experience when I was in Assam Rifles?
Sure.
I'll tell you. When I when Naga Kuki class was there, it was of higher degree than this class. And I was to protect a Kuki village, as I told you before also. Let me
Yes.
reiterate again.
And I want to tell my audience that you're from the
Huh.
Meitei community. You're from the Meitei
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
but
Huh.
like every good soldier, you are of course
Hmm.
Indian first. And when you're in the
Mhm.
uniform, you don't recognize these differences. So you were tasked to protect a Kuki village. Go ahead, sir. Yeah. Then.
Yeah, and I did my job, and everything was fine. Not a single bullet. And the village which was just across that river, Iril River, the name of the village is Thingphai, the most remote village of Kuki. And not a single bullet was fired when I was there.
Okay.
And I did certain things also. And I was detailed by the army headquarters to write a report on Manipur for 3 months. I was directly detailed by General Nugyal, that time ADGMI, and he briefed me what is to be done and what is required out of me. And I was sent back again. For 3 months, I
Right.
wrote the report, and I gave to
Okay.
him. I
So,
recommended three things.
so what would you like the army to do that it's not doing? Because I would like to submit to you, sir, with respect, that the 60,000 people who are in relief camps today have been brought to safety by the army. The patrolling in the buffer zones is being taken under the army. The army is the last institution left that has transcended the ethnic divide. Why do you say the top brass must come down? Who do you mean by the top brass? What do you mean in this case?
What I mean is, even the politicians from the state, uh, you know, um the MLAs, the DCs who are working over here from those both sides, DCs are also that side also, this side also, they must come down. When this public is there, they must try to, their own communities. I'm talking about their own communities. They must come down. And who were the top police officers when this third May incident took place? That all I will not. I will let. Don't tell me to name it. But all these things are
I'm saying,
organization matters. No,
isn't it terrible for national security that
absolutely.
we're now dragging the army into an ethnic strife? The army, all polls show, is the most trusted institution in India. Now it's
It's
being
not that.
pulled
It's
into, now it is being dragged into this ethnic division.
No, army. It is not that army is not mean, they are not having faith with the army. No, it's not so. It is completely wrong. They have a lot of faith with the army. But what I'm saying is that is the personality on ground. See, let me tell you one thing. when Sero village was killed, when it was burned, that time, where was the requirement of that Casper, that bulletproof vehicle to be parked in front of the police station? Why is it so? When they should be working together. Have you asked this question to anybody?
What do you feel about the Manipur police filing an FIR against the Assam Rifles?
I don't feel good. Yeah, I cannot be good about this. Let it be anything. I don't feel comfortable. Also, Assam Rifle was
Yes.
one organization where I served, and then I served it very nicely. And I'm today also I'm saying they are very tough physically, mentally. But then it depends on the commander. Commander is the main. This is the Casper vehicle, which was parked in front of the police station. Is it done? Have you asked this question to Assam Rifle? That one I want to ask. And that who has allowed that? I'm sure the top brass mustn't have given this kind of order. Yeah.
But let's look at the larger picture, sir. You have the Assam Rifles being asked to be replaced. The government has said it's not going to do any such thing. You have the army issuing two sharp public statements, which it doesn't usually do, saying we operate without fear and favor. You have more than 4,000 weapons, including mortars and light machine guns. You know that these are the kind of weapons that usually surface in insurgencies. This is not an insurgency, it's an ethnic conflict, right? Who has looted the armories? Who has looted the police armories? Both sides are armed today. Why are people not being disarmed?
You are asking one question which is not to be asked, which is
Why is
understood by
that?
everybody.
Why is that?
This,
People,
the answer to this question is known by everybody.
please tell us. Please tell
I
us
will
this
tell you.
answer.
I'll tell
Tell
you
us.
if people do not know why these weapons were looted. That I will ask you. Why is it so?
Because both sides want to protect their own villages. That's what they
Obviously,
say. Yes, and we
obviously.
have, let me show you those images. We went into a Meitei dominated village where paddy farmers, these men used to be rice farmers, they said, this is war for us now. And they took us to their bunkers, right? And their bunkers are like proper professional bunkers. They have sand pits, they have fortifications. These men do night patrol through the night. Then we went to the other side, we went into a Kuki village where boys who should be in school. This man wants to join the army, by the way. He said, my dream is to join the Indian army. This boy is in class 12. They have guns. Now, what I'm saying is my report from the ground is both sides are armed. Now, why is the disarming not the first priority? Now tell us, sir.
Yes, disarming the first priority, and when there is misunderstanding in both sides, if it is not possible to disarm as of now, then the table should be arranged at the earliest, and then
How?
so that some understanding.
Who's
Table means I'm talking
who?
about the center. I'm talking about the center. What I mean is, see, I have been telling the table since the beginning. That is because, see, when there is clash taking place, it is very difficult to disarm the weapon because you never know from which side what will happen. So some understanding on the table has to come because the leaders are there. No? The leaders will tell their subjects that they see we are on talking terms like this, and for some time we'll have to do like this and notice that. Then when peace prevails, then only the weapon can be. This is my opinion. And if you, Dekho, it's we keep talking about this guns being looted and all those things. See, this was taken from one training center, and I don't know how many weapons must be without pin, without firing pin. I don't know how many. And those people who have looted these weapons, they are just normal civilians. It was a mob of thousands. They had no choice and never thought. Let me submit one thing. In India, nobody would have thought this would have happened, but it was a compulsion. Basically, one has to understand this. I'm not talking
What
about
is what is the compulsion?
I'm not talking about any this thing for in support of any community. But what happened is I'm talking about why there was a requirement of looting the weapons. This
Yes,
everyone must think.
yes. You tell us.
That is, if people do not know, then I'll tell you, because weapons were not this height. In Imphal Valley, Imphal East and West, weapon, let's say double barrel, single barrel, they are all also not the very less what do you call license are given. Licenses are
Yes,
very
yes.
less. But in the hills, licenses are given like that because on the pretext of protection of crops and wild animal and things like that. It is not so difficult in the hills, but in the valley, weapons, you have to have reason to get license for the
So,
weapons.
so you're saying that in the
Uh,
valley, in
uh,
Imphal, the police armories had to be looted because the Meitei community, you say, did not have weapons, but the hill communities had more weapons to begin with. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there any doubt in that?
So
I'm
you
not
are,
talking about anybody. I'm just being neutral. Yeah. Is
yeah,
there any
but you're,
doubt in that? On
but
the
you're,
3rd of May, see,
hmm.
1 minute. On the 3rd of May, in that peace rally, in the rally, people are in the black dress, AK-47, they're carrying AK-47, and then burning Todung village. This is on the media, yeah, it's on 3rd. And reaction was on 4th.
So
I
you
would
are
say it
saying,
is very sad that this thing has not been reflected. The 3rd May has been forgotten.
sir, that the
Huh.
Community has been forced, in your estimation, to loot police armories for weapons because the Kuki people had more weapons.
More weapons, nahi.
Then,
Not more weapons. Weapons were also there. Meitei did not have weapon. As far as licensed guns are concerned, with your personality, you can take the details from the DCs of respective districts, and there you come to know. And I will be very glad to know how many weapons were issued in every district. That is one. The second one is the incident on 3rd was very severe, which people have forgotten, and starting the incident of this class from 4th. No, it is not correct. I have some Jawans, I have some
yeah.
guards which were deployed in the Kuki dominated area that time. And that time the boy had to sleep in the hills, and then before first light he had to run from there. That was a mighty guy. And the same thing happened this side also, yeah. See, it is no point. It is no point. I wanted to remain as a neutral person basically, because this is not going to lead anybody anywhere.
I
What I'm going to
agree.
say, what I'm going to
Yes.
say is, these 4,000 weapons people have been helping again and again, again and again. The border is porous. Barkhaji, you have to understand. The border is porous. And who is the leader of KNF? All these things you have to understand, yeah. National security, I'm concerned about national security. Is there any plantation going on anywhere in Manipur? Is there any plantation going on? This is one question which I want to ask you, or you may ask anybody. Is Biren
The,
Singh wrong by this thing? Well, his approach may be wrong. I don't know. His approach, he could have been little diplomatic. I don't know. But is he wrong by destroying those poppies?
but tell me, sir,
No, no,
when
please,
you
please
call,
answer me. No,
no,
you have been asking me only. Let me also ask you
I,
one question, yeah? I do.
I,
I also have some right to
let
ask you
me,
questions.
okay, but I am not in government. I am
No,
not
no, no. I
a
am also
police
not in government.
officer.
See,
I am not a
Bhargaji, I say,
soldier. I am
I
only a
am also not
reporter.
in government. I am also
Yes,
not in government. I am asking you
yes,
one simple question. You are also Indian. I am also Indian.
yes.
If Biren Singh has taken some action to destroy the poppy, is it right or wrong? Please tell me.
Of course, any crackdown on drug mafias is right, but there are many different versions, as you would have also heard, about who is complicit in this drug trade. I don't. We'll have a separate conversation on the drug trade. Let me actually ask you about what you just said. You said that the Meitei people had fewer gun licenses than the Kuki people. But in fact, all records also show that there are 35,117 active gun licenses in Manipur, and this has gone up significantly from December 2016. So actually, the Biren Singh government has been issuing gun licenses, or on their watch, gun licenses have been issued quite generously. Now, without taking the side of this community or that community, and as you said, you also wanted to be neutral, I want to ask you, what is the solution? The Kuki people say we are being called infiltrators. The data of Assam Rifles shows that after 2021, there were approximately 2,000 infiltrations from Myanmar. More than 40,000 went into Mizoram, right? So when even the chief minister uses the word infiltrators loosely, do you think that's correct? You must have served with so many Kuki officers in the forge, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Not only Koki officers, Jawans also. My Jawans are there. I'm from the regiment only. But I'll
Correct.
tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. What he meant was, you know, I'll again ask you one question over here. Do you
Yes.
believe that there's no infiltrators?
I only know the official data. If it's more than that, you tell me. This official data I just read out to you, right? More,
No.
more,
Now about the gun, I'll tell you. About the gun, I'll tell you. We need to know so many licenses must have been issued, but then where in which district they are issued by name. There is a requirement of taking it out so that there is, understanding between the people, community. Huh? All of Manipur. We need to take out district wise. Now, in the month of February this year, one person, Rameshwar, uh, co- um, one of the member of BJP, he was killed. He was shot in his, near his house. So, and another incident took place, I think. And thereafter, there was an order from the DGP of Manipur, saying that all the guns to be deposited in the respective police stations. Okay. And they were deposited. I have, you know how I came to know? Because I have some armed guards, because I'm providing security and I have some armed guards. Okay.
okay.
And in Imphal East and Imphal West, they were all deposited. But I had guards in the hills also. But when we went to deposit, it's okay, no problem. So they were not deposited. So they did with the guards. The guards did the duty with the guns there, over there. But the Imphal, those people who belong to Imphal East and West, some guards I had, their weapons were deposited. I'm just giving one example. Okay. Now, about that, so many licenses, gun licenses, it's so easy. Yeah? In today's world, just click of the computer, you will find it out.
Okay, I want to ask you something. Please correct me if I'm summarizing you incorrectly. You are saying that while gun licenses have been given, more gun licenses have been given in the hill areas, i.e., to the Kuki people, less gun licenses have been given to the Meiteis, and therefore the Meiteis were forced to loot police armories. Correct?
That gun license, that cartouche, we call it cartouche, double barrel or single barrel, that is immaterial.
Okay.
It
But
doesn't
are
have a
you.
range also. It doesn't have a range. If you cannot aim, that is immaterial, whether you have it in the hill or in the plains. The guns which matter is AK-47 and those kinds, the rifles.
The assault
Yes,
rifles,
assault
yes.
rifles.
So
Yeah.
you're saying
Mm.
the assault rifles, the Meitei people didn't have assault rifles, the Kuki
Not a
people
single
had
one.
assault, not a
Not a
single
single one.
assault rifle. Okay,
Yes.
you're saying the Meitei people did not have a single assault rifle, and
Ah,
therefore the Meitei people were compelled, in your estimation, to loot assault rifles from the police armories.
absolutely. I never expected this kind of thing would happen, because on third, because that is the reaction on fourth from third. That is the thing which I'm saying. And now what happened is, Barkhaji, it is no point talking on this subject, and
Yeah.
we'll be putting oil on the fire only.
Okay,
Let
fair
us talk
enough.
about
But
let us
fair
talk
enough.
about how to
But I think
solve the
it's.
problem.
I know, but I think it's very important this detail, because otherwise we keep talking hawa mein about the weapons, right?
Now
And you have.
let me tell you about how people are scared about some junior officers who served in the Assam Rifle for 2 years. They are very worried about how the weapon have been looted, and all those things. There is a rule in India which is called NSA, in which under
Yes,
which act हमारा संजय दत्त also went to jail.
yes, Sanjay Dutt, the
ठीक है
actor.
जी. हाँ.
Yes, yes,
When peace prevailed in Manipur, when the order is out saying that anybody having guns like this will be put under NSA. Please deposit it at respective places, or leave at some places like church, mandir, or let's say
yes.
some common place. I'll tell you, Barkha, I'll give you the thing, weapon will come. But the peace has to be prevail first. The understanding has to be. I'm very thankful. I told you in my interview with you last time, I had
Yes.
requested the central government to, come down and then raise it for the table. I'm very grateful on that. Like Amit Shahji has been calling people, and then he's having a negotiation with them, talking it out.
Right.
He has to give punishment, yeah. They are the father figure. The state is not functioning. They have to give punishment,
So you, so
whether
so
it is
you,
Meitei or Kuki, yeah.
so you're saying that it's time for the center to say that the NSA will be invoked against anybody who does not deposit their weapons. You can say temple or a mandir, and you can say no punishment if you deposit your weapons. But if you don't deposit your weapons, the NSA will be invoked against you.
No, not now. I didn't say
Then,
that it should be done now. I did not
then
say.
when?
You
Then
missed my
when?
word.
Okay,
You
okay.
missed
Then
my word.
okay. Then clarify. Clarify.
Clarification is the center must arrange various tables,
Yes.
meetings, various meetings,
Yes. Yes.
and then when there should be a stage that both the party can sit together, and then he can
So once
coordinate,
dialogue
and then
starts,
yes,
okay. So
that
you're
much of
saying,
understanding has to be there, yeah, Barkhaji. See, let me tell you one thing. By
hmm,
putting question to me, I'm an Indian soldier. ठीक
yes,
है?
sir.
I'm an Indian
Yes, sir.
soldier, and I'm not going to answer your questions that
I'm
way.
only trying to I'm only trying to
Huh.
understand your perspective with
My
great
perspective
respect.
is my
Hmm.
perspective is we are all human being. Number one, we are all Indians.
Yes.
1951, if it is the date for NRC, why nobody should be scared? Is see, I keep watching football.
Yeah.
The way Messi plays, na, the way Messi plays, he doesn't do any foul. He plays with his skill, with his
Yes.
sincerity, and with
Yes,
his
sir.
effort. 1951 is the date for NRC, I think, if I'm not wrong,
Hmm.
and it should be done. If there is a doubt with anybody, and the one thing we all must remember is the border is porous. This is one thing. The border is porous, and lot of turmoil is taking place in that our neighboring country. And as Zoram Thangaji openly said, my brothers and sisters are there. See, one thing I would like to tell you, if you feed them, see, on humanity ground, we must do whatever we possible. But then it is on the tax of the country, yeah? On the income taxes paid by the people of the country, yeah?
Yeah. Can I ask you with great respect? You must I want to not misrepresent what you're saying, because then you'll get angry with me. So I'm asking again and again, clarifying.
No,
You
no,
are
I'm not
saying
angry with you. I'm getting involved. I'm not angry with you. You are doing your job, and it is a good thing. But then I also have the right to ask you questions, right?
of
That is
course,
the only thing.
you have
Because
all the rights.
you
You
are
have all the
also
rights.
Indian citizen. I am
Of
also Indian
course.
citizen. You love
Of
India
course.
the same way I also love India.
Of course. Of
That is
course.
the thing.
Okay. Now, you are saying that the center must lead a process of dialogue at the table. Once that process builds up some momentum, then disarming must be asked for. Maybe at that stage, we say NSA can be invoked against anyone who keeps weapons. And in the meantime, the NRC must happen, the National Register of Citizens. Correct?
What do you say about this NRC?
I'm
Let
saying
me
in
ask you one
this
question.
in
What do you feel that NRC should be done or not to be done?
I think in this environment it cannot be done, obviously, right? In this environment where you're calling each other's names, you're shooting at each other, you're burning houses, you can't go 50 minutes from Imphal to Churachandpur or Kangpokpi. You also know that they can't come to you, you can't go to them. This is not maybe the time we need, where I agree with
Yes,
you fully,
yes, that is what I'm saying.
where I
Yes,
agree with you fully, is that the
ah,
center has to initiate a dialogue. I
yes, absolutely,
150%,
absolutely.
150% agree with you. Now,
Hmm.
let me ask you in the end. Suppose you were called by the chief minister or the home minister and you were told, Colonel, you know this state, this is your state, you've been with the Assam Rifles, you've been with the Assam Regiment. Tell us, how should we start? Where should we start? What advice would you give them?
Before I answer this question, you didn't answer me my first question.
Which is what?
The first question was the chief minister wrong by taking some actions?
if he took action against the drug mafia, he's right. But there are also former police officers who have a very different theory to tell, and I don't know enough. I have to say to know who all is involved in this drug trade. Do you know that, sir? Usually, in places where there's an underbelly of a drug mafia, there's vested interests across professions. You also know this: political class, police, business. We have all grown up seeing this, haven't we?
Yeah, we have seen that. And about the encroachment also, the houses,
Yes.
more houses were destroyed in the valley. Right in front of me also, I saw when it was destroyed. I was very happy. In valley
Hmm.
only, near my house.
Hmm.
Some crane came and then they were destroyed. There's a place called White House. Some rich
Okay.
people, they have constructed house, massive house over there, and they
Hmm.
were destroyed by Chief Minister, yeah, much before this. Much before this
So you're
2000.
saying you're saying the chief minister cracked down on the drug mafia, and that explains partially why there's unrest. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. Lot of problem
Okay.
is there. The main cause is drug, yeah. And
Elaborate on that.
the,
Elaborate further on that. Elaborate further on that.
see, main is main problem is cultivation of poppies. And if you see on the YouTube where the cultivation is taking place and all, you can see everything. It's all available in YouTube. I don't need to tell. And is it dangerous for us or not? I'm asking you one question. If you see today in YouTube, the poppy plantations in Manipur, let it be anywhere. I don't want to tell. मैं बोलना नहीं चाहता हूँ.
Hmm.
If you see in the YouTube, you will see everything. Is it dangerous for you also? Or is it only dangerous for me or for the people of Manipur
It's
only?
dangerous
No.
for everyone. It's dangerous for
Is it
everyone.
a matter of concern? No? It's a
Of
matter of
course.
concern.
Of
And
course.
when drug is there, then gun is there. This is a known fact in the world. When drug is there, gun will be there.
Okay. So where do we
Okay.
how do we go forward?
Yes. How do we go forward is, let's not, my Kuki brothers, Naga brothers, please, I have just said the facts. Please don't mind for using this. I love you all. My Jawans they were very faithful to me. And my Jawans, my buddy is always close to me, was always a cookie chap. Let me tell you this.
Really, really.
Yes,
Hmm.
always. And my son was, you know, all the time with a cookie boy. It's
Hmm.
not that, those people who have been staying over here, they are doing these things. Yeah. No, yeah, come on. But aren't you convinced? Aren't you convinced that some people are coming from that side? If you are not convinced, then time will prove. Or jo bhi hai, let's forget about this. Now, my sincere request to everybody is that this no community can cleanse any community. It is not possible. It will only bring, sadness and the difficulties in our life. We
Yes.
all must live in harmony. And since we have come, all those people who are here over here, we have to respect the constitution also. That 1951 is the date where they were supposed to come. And thereafter, if they get citizen with due process of law, it is fine. But then ये नहीं कि ऐसे आ गया ऐसे चला गया वो ना प्लीज ये acceptable नहीं है. It is not acceptable to anybody, and it should not be acceptable to anybody in any Indians also.
Okay. So respect the cutoff date after a certain cutoff, or come in lawfully, not illegally. Nobody could argue with that. But can I ask you an immediate suggestion for de-escalation?
Immediate suggestion is there's nothing left with the state as for now, because the chief minister will not be accepted by the other side.
Yes.
We have to. It is not only the Cookies and the Nagas who are staying over here. Manipur is, you know, inhabited by, Meiteis, Cookies, Nagas, and even Nepalis are also there. Marwaris are there, Punjabis are there. They are also citizens of India, and they have been staying here for since a long time. Yeah, we can't neglect them also. We have to be taken in them also. And one more thing I would like to submit over here is, the first chief minister of Manipur was from the royal family. That was before in that 2 years before it was merged, after independence and before Manipur was merged. And
Hmm.
thereafter we have different type of chief ministers. Yeah, Ali Muddin from the minority, he was the chief minister 2 times. Rishan Kashing was chief minister for 3 times. Young Maisho Saja, I'm talking about Rishan Kashing was a Naga chap, Tangkhul chap. Young Maisho Saja was this thing again, Tangkhul chap. He was chief minister for 2 years. Ali Muddin was a very good chief minister,
Hmm.
as narrated to me by my elders. That time I was
Yeah.
very small child. So this kind of things, and then you know what happened? I'll tell you. My Imphal Valley is such about the infrastructure and all those things. You can't have this thing, yeah. That is why I say that you cannot have AIMS, All India Medical Institute in Manipur, yeah. Come on, let's think it over here. If there is a medical, college over here, the first will be in Imphal. It's a center place. People will come from all directions.
Hmm.
Sports university, if it is constructed, it has to be at a place where the football ground and various playgrounds are going to be constructed. It cannot be in the hills. And still, keeping in view the objections which are going to be projected subsequently, Kautruk is a Meitei village. Next to it, in the Kuki area, the complex is being planned and being constructed at the Kuki area. Kautruk is in the valley, inhabited by Meitei, but constructed in the Kuki area because of the requirement and because
Hmm.
of various different opinions. It's not been constructed so far. Yeah, the university of its kind, only university of its kind in India. And my friends from professor from Odisha and all this, sir, what is this happening? My chief minister says we will finish it in 1 year. You give it to us. Why so much of problem? Yeah, we have to live with positive thinking. And when you demand something from the government of India, see, Barkhaji, yeah, very important thing which I feel should be projected to the nation is, or to everybody, as I had mentioned before, that when any state or any community or anybody demands, ठीक है, it should be reasonable. And अगर नहीं हुआ तो फिर you keep fighting.
Hmm.
अगर by chance if the center doesn't give it, then you keep fighting. You keep killing each
That,
other. The center has to
that's
see if this bill is implemented, then fair money will be involved. Everything is on money.
so basically,
And where
basically
this
you're
money will
saying,
come? So
basically you're
where?
saying,
Uh,
basically you're saying that the separate administration demand is not feasible, the one being made by the
no, I'm
Kuki.
not saying. The center will decide whether he is able to
Okay.
give or not. The center
Okay.
will decide.
But you're saying in the meantime you can't keep killing
Uh,
each other, which I 100% agree with,
yes,
which I
absolutely,
100%
absolutely.
agree with.
For that, center has to plan in such a way. बेटे लोग तुम लोग ठीक ठाक हो जाओ, नहीं तो फिर पापा आ गया पिटाई करने वाला हूं. ये चाहिए.
पता पापा
And
की
Amit Shah ji
पिटाई.
has started. I'm thankful to you. I'm thankful to Amit Shah ji that he has started.
Hmm.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर जी तो मोदी जी तो आए नहीं अभी तक. अभी आएगा तो और भी अच्छा होना था. But अभी तक तो आया नहीं. Maybe he must be giving instruction. He's got a lot of work. I don't know. But if he comes, it'll be much better. But what I'm saying is now the ball has rolled out of Manipur. It cannot be solved by the Manipuris over here. So the center has to intervene. And it is
When
no
you
point. It is no point me or this thing telling this, that, and all those things. This gun is no gun. This will come back. This will come back. When the
you
situation is okay, this will come back. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, I think what you're saying is the center has to be stricter.
Yes,
पिटाई
sir.
चाहिए,
Yes,
मेटाफोरिकली
absolutely.
पिटाई चाहिए, लेकिन एट द
हाँ,
सेम टाइम डायलॉग भी चाहिए. मेरा एक आखिरी सवाल है. You
हाँ जी.
must have seen reports that the center was in talks with the Kuki Sioux groups, the insurgents who were active since 2000, who had suspended operations since 2008. Hence, the Kuki Sioux groups were in talks with the center, and they had reached some sort of peace accord around a separate territorial council. Have you heard of this? Because the Kuki groups talk about this as being a factor, that this announcement was going to be made. Biren Singh was very against it. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on it.
I have not heard from the honorable home minister. I have not heard
Yes,
this from the honorable home minister.
yes, correct.
Since I have not heard from honorable home minister, I do not know anything about this, and I cannot form any opinion.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude by saying that you want the center to employ what is called a carrot and stick policy, the stick where necessary, the carrot where necessary, bring people to the dialogue table. पिटाई हो तो ठीक है, लेकिन साथ में बातचीत भी हो. Is that fair, sir?
या बातचीत बहुत जरूरी है. बच्चे में मानता नहीं है तो बच्चा को पिताजी समझाता है, एंड मानता नहीं है तो पिताजी पिटाई करते हैं ना. इट्स द सेम थिंग. बच्चे को they must speak to the children first, and thereafter if they don't agree, then फिर दंडा देना चाहिए, because there are many agencies over here in Manipur, in agencies, central agencies. Lot of reports must be there, and the center knows who's who. I do not know, since I stay in Imphal, I do not know, but those people who are sitting in center, they know, they have all the reports.
Okay.
Okay, they know much better.
Okay, sir. Thank
हाँ
you.
जी.
Always we learn a lot from talking to you. A very lively conversation. बहुत सीखा. Thank you.
It's only that I'm an Indian and I get involved in the talk.
Of course.
I'm
Of course.
not against you, but
Of
I'm
course.
authorized to ask you some questions.
Of course,
That is
sir.
why I asked you.
You must
Because
ask
we
me
are-
you must ask me all the questions you want,
yeah,
and I will try and answer
at
as
the
many
end
as I
we are
can.
all at the end we are all Indians, and we have
Of
to
course.
try
Of
for a
course.
better India and try for a better Manipur, since I'm in Manipur.
Absolutely, sir. Thank
That
you,
is
sir. Take care, sir. Stay safe, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.